everybody, it's EK from EK Gorman Designs, and I am coming in with a little coloring video creating what might be considered a Halloween card, but it's not. It's an autumn card, and it's an autumn witch. It's not a witch, it's an autumn witch. No, I took this stamp from Halloween Party by designer Charlene Vanderverst, and I stamped it out into some watercolor paper, and then I stamped out some mushrooms from the Autumn Surprise stamp set, and I'm going to turn the little witch into an autumn witch and keep her non-Halloweeny, because I have learned apparently there are people who don't appreciate Halloween and prefer not to craft Halloween. And so I'm showing how you can take this Halloween stamp and turn it into an autumn stamp and make it all kinds of fun. I'm using my inktense pencils today, which I'm a little out of practice with. Like, I just haven't used them in a while. And a water brush to move the color once I get it down. But I thought it'd be fun to do this in a kind of different way than I normally color. So, watercoloring inktense it is. I've never really found a really great skin tone that makes me all excited to color with my inktense pencils, but this is about as good as it gets. She's a little yellow right now, but once I get all the rest of the color into her, it works out really nicely. One of the reasons I really like my inktense pencils is because I can actually use just one or two and get great gradation and highlights and lowlights, and I don't need 95 different colors to get my point across. Like, her skin is just one color, her hair is two, and her dress, which I'm about to do now, is just two colors, and I could have easily done it with one, but I wanted a little bit more red tone in than I'm dropping right now. Now, I'm not listing the colors of my inktense that I'm using because I don't know which ones I use. I literally just pulled all the browns and a couple of greens and two reds, and I threw them on my desk, and I just kept picking them up and playing, as opposed to making really conscious decisions what I was doing. I will say, once I added a little cheek color to her face, I think she started to come to life. Just by dropping in that little bit of red into her cheeks, the whole effect really, she had some life in her. So if your skin tone's really feeling flat and icky, apparently add a little cheek color and see where you can go from there. And a cheek color doesn't just apply to the ladies, you can add cheek color to children and boys. So I'm getting the hat colored in, and yes, I'm going with red, which could be considered Halloweeny, but because I'm keeping everything in a brown and red palette, I think she ends up looking very autumny and warm for the changing of the seasons, as opposed to what she was originally intended for, which is spooky and Halloweeny. Again, you can see how well, just using my water brush, I can move this inktense pencil and what kind of cool color changes I can get, giving her kind of a soft, almost dreamy feel by how I'm coloring her. Now, I will warn everybody, I'm not real smart. Nope, not real smart at all. I had zoomed in so you could really get a good impression of how I was coloring, and then I forgot to move my paper. I don't always look up and check my screens, so here we go. Not real smart. In a second I realize my folly, and I fix it. But the cool thing, if you never used inktense pencils, and you're very intimidated by the idea of watercoloring, but you're comfortable with coloring with, like, say, colored pencils, something like a watercolor pencil or an inktense pencil would be really effective, because you actually just kind of color like you would with a colored pencil. And as you can see, I'm not even doing a whole lot of that. Just by dropping color on my shaded side of the image and then pulling the color over, yeah, I hate to say it's actually that easy, but it's that easy. Again, I'm out of practice and by no means an expert, but I think I can make it look pretty simple, and it ends up looking pretty cool. The acorn probably is my favorite image on this, and I don't know why, but it was super simple to color and came out really, really cool. The mushroom that I colored off screen, I wasn't happy with how the color came out. I just wasn't actually happy with the color combination. So I go back in and I fix that one. But I'm going to warn you, something awful's about to happen. In about 5, 4, 3, 2... Yeah, I lost footage. That's it. I got nothing. So to build the card, I fussy cut out all the images and I built the card up. I took a piece of printed paper, and it's from the Thinking About collection, and I think it's Grand Canyon, and I took a piece of rust, soft color, soft um, finished cardstock, and I die cut out the opening, and I made a 6x6 card frame out of another piece of soft, I think I used Dove Gray, but regardless, I made a 6x6 card in a gray, so it's not stark white when you like look at the back of it. And I adhered down the printed paper, and I adhered, or started to adhere. You're going to get to watch me be incredibly indecisive, because this probably isn't the right opening for what I intended to do, and the mushrooms, while I love them, are slightly awkward shaped. So finding the right layout in this hole, I think I would have been better if I had not gone with an oval cutout and instead used a circle cutout, because then it would have fallen much nicer. So as you can see, I've played with multiple plans, and unfortunately did not take a picture of my favorite. But in the end, I think the layout looks pretty good. Let me know in the comments below if you think I successfully figured out the right layout for all the mushrooms, or if I got it wrong. I have no problem hearing that I got it wrong, because I question whether I got it right. I'm dropping in the adhesive onto the back of each of the mushrooms, and you're going to watch me once again, play with them. So I put the big fat one in because he's really the key to anchoring things down. But I haven't glued him in, so I've just got him tucked in there, and I'm adhering down the two thinner mushrooms now I'm finally. So when all else fails, you can kind of just experiment and play. I experimented and played, and you're going to have to let me know if it was a success. Finally, I'm putting on my Autumn Witch, but oh wait, I don't like the background. I realized that the rust soft finish cardstock was just too glaringly bright, so I pulled out one more stamp from the Autumn Surprise stamp set, and it's a really cool distressed stamp. It says Autumn on it. If I was in my art journal, I would be stamping the snot with this stamp, because it's textual, and the original ink I pulled out just wasn't quite dark enough. But look at how nice all of a sudden that piece of soft finish cardstock looks with all of this simple stamping. No, I didn't use a block. I just distressed my background. To finish the card off, I added a simple sentiment, and I don't know, I think it, again, used brown. It wasn't dark enough, so I had to pull out some black. But I like, it's a simple little, have a magical day. Simple coloring, simple layering, but yet a really fun, I think, autumn card. Something you could send for birthdays or anniversary, or just because. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite autumn kind of card is, and if you've ever made witches into something other than Halloween. Till then, happy crafting.